Hey, I'm Stephanie, and it's time to stumble into style. Welcome to this episode of Signature Style Sunday, my weekly web series in which I document my journey as I attempt to find my very own sense of style using mainly what I already own. As I talked about in last week's video, this week I began curating my closet, accessories, and makeup items. I'm still at the very beginning of this process, and I am right now weeding out the things that don't necessarily serve me the way I'd like them to. I'm not as far along as I'd like to be. However, I've learned a lot so far, so I thought I'd share some of those things with you today. The first thing I learned was my closet is not as big as I thought it was. Not like I thought I had a huge closet by any means, but I guess I just kind of thought it was normal sized. This is a picture of my closet, and it looks relatively tidy here simply because I had just returned home and had just hung everything back up when I took this picture. And you know, it's looks organized, but if I try to take one item out of that closet, it's so jam-packed that like 5 things will come out all at once, so I really need to pare it down. And I don't have a bureau or anything, but I do have like another half closet next to it with a couple of shelves and some small drawers, and that is my clothing storage. And I just assumed that was normal, and maybe you can let me know if it is, because I feel like I'm lacking context. Because back when I was sick a couple weeks ago, I was binge watching YouTube videos in an effort to like force myself to stay in bed and at the same time get inspired to do my own declutter. And I feel like every single person that was doing a closet declutter had a massive closet. Like, I mean, ginormous, like the size of my room here. And some of them, I think, had closets the size of my entire apartment. I mean, it was madness. And I was just like, what?
Editing Stephanie here. I would just like to briefly mention that my reaction just now was not one of judginess. It was one of complete and utter amazement. Like as if one had just offered me a ride on a real live unicorn or given me a donut that could help me lose weight. It was just, I'm very happy for these people. It just kind of blows my mind that even exists. That is all.
Like when they took all the clothes out to kind of KonMari their whole, wardrobe, it was like a mountain of clothes in this huge room. Like you could climb up this mountain and like the air would start getting thinner. It was amazing. And I was so happy when I saw that because I was like, oh, I have a small closet, but I have much less work to do. So that made the whole situation seem a lot less daunting. The second thing I learned is that I'm the sort of person that needs to do a declutter in waves. At work, I'm my own boss, and I'm also my only employee, which means that I am the only one making all the decisions all day, every day. And decision exhaustion is such a real phenomenon. And so I find I have to do my declutter in small batches. So what I've been doing is taking all of the clothes in a category out, throwing them on my bed, and then just kind of picking out individual items that I'm absolutely certain that I either want to keep or that I want to discard. And then once I notice that I'm sort of like taking more time to make the decisions and that I'm really contemplating them, then I just stop. And I put aside the items that I'm certain about, and I put the other items back in my closet. And then I just repeat the process again whenever I have time. It's not a very efficient process time-wise. However, it works in my tiny apartment, and I feel like it's more effective in the end simply because I find I can get rid of more when I do it in bits and pieces. And I think that's because I don't feel overwhelmed by making the decisions. And so when it's just a decision here or there, it's really easy for me. But when I have to do it all at once, it just gets to be too much. So that's working pretty well. And I think in the end, I'm going to ultimately get rid of more than I would have done if I tried to do it all at once. And in the end, I'll also feel better about those decisions because I took the time to make them. The third thing I learned surprised me the most, and that is that I realized I live a life of abundance. When I first became a musician, I lived a life of scarcity. I was the dictionary definition of a starving artist. For example, if a staple of my wardrobe needed to be replaced, like my jeans, I would have to skimp and save just to be able to afford a new second-hand pair of jeans. And that didn't really bother me because I chose to go into the arts. And to be honest, I really enjoy thrifting at secondhand shops. But that scarcity, although it was self-imposed, was a source of stress nonetheless. But now I look at this closet that's literally bursting at the seams and I see how far I've come. I mean, it's not like I have money to burn by any means, and I still have so many milestones that I've set for myself that I really want to achieve. But if I need a new pair of jeans now, I can just go out and buy one. I could even go out and buy a new pair, although that wouldn't be nearly as much fun as thrifting, because whenever I'm at a secondhand shop and I find a good pair of jeans, I feel like I'm the winner of a scavenger hunt. And this realization of abundance has really changed my attitude, not only towards my wardrobe and how I'd like to shape it, but also towards my work and my life. As an independent artist, it's very easy to constantly second guess yourself. You're traveling an unbeaten path, you have to pave your own way, and there's a lot of doubt inherent in that process. But decluttering my closet is forcing me to look back over that path and realize exactly how far I've come, especially when I see the old threadbare items in my closet that I no longer need. They're proof that I'm making my way, even if it doesn't always feel that way when I'm deeply embedded in the stress of my everyday life. Thanks so much for listening to me blabber on about my adventures in style stumbling. It's been so nice to have you here as a cheerleader rooting for me, and knowing that you watch my videos keeps me accountable and keeps me on this train, so thanks for the help. I'm going to go now, but I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope we can all remember that even stumbling can be a form of moving forward. So let's stumble in style.